Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. This week, I want to talk about what it means when I say we're perfectly loved. I believe the biggest disservice I could do during these messages would allow this line of perfectly loved to just become a tagline that doesn't carry any weight. The reason I will say it every week is because it's the foundation of everything. Anytime I have the opportunity to share the Father's heart with his kids, this has to be the foundation of anything else I speak about. Starting at perfect love is the only place to start. If I'm given the gift of speaking into someone's life, I want to be adamant in honoring them and telling them how they're loved. To invite them in to an opportunity to encounter perfect love from the Father. For them to know that they are perfectly loved. You are perfectly loved right now as you are. Not later when you figure your life out, when you get a few more things taken care of that you don't love that you're doing. It's right now. It's as you are right now. And so I want, if it's just once a week, I want you to be able to hear how you're loved. But some people in their life may have never known love, or that they've only known a counterfeit that's been called love. And so it doesn't help if there's a misunderstanding of love. So when you hear it, you still think discipline and anger. And so tonight, I hope to equip you with a new lens as far as love goes. I hope that after tonight, you'll be able to move forward and view all things through this lens, that you won't deal with any counterfeits moving forward in your life, that because of the lens that you're going to be equipped with tonight moving forward, you'll instantly know what is for you and what is not, what is genuine love and what a counterfeit is. 1 Corinthians 13 is incredibly popular as far as scripture goes, and if you've been to a wedding in the last 30 years, you've probably heard at least a portion of it. The first part of the chapter talks about and describes love's motives and attributes. Love is large and incredibly patient, gentle and consistently kind to all. It refuses to be jealous when blessings come to someone else. It does not brag about one's achievements or inflates its own importance. It does not traffic in shame and disrespect. It does not selfishly seek its own honor. Love is not easily irritated or quick to take offense. Love joyfully celebrates honesty. It finds no delight in what is wrong. Love is a safe place of shelter. Love never takes failure as defeat because it never gives up. The last part of the chapter in the Passion Translation is titled Perfect Love, and it starts in verse 8 with love never stops loving. It extends beyond the gift of prophecy, which eventually fades away. It's more enduring than tongues, which will one day fall silent. Love remains love after words of knowledge are forgotten. Verse 9 says, our present knowledge and our prophecies are but partial. And verse 10, but when love's perfection arrives, the partial will fade away. I want to come back to verse 10, but first we're going to look at 1 John 4:16 through 18 out of the Mirror, and it says, and thus we have come to know and believe the love that God has unveiled within us. God is love. Love is who God is. To live in this place of conscience, constant love, is to live immersed in God and to feel perfectly at home in his indwelling. So now, with us awakening to our full inclusion in this love union, everything is perfect. Its completeness is not compromised in contradiction. Our confident conversation echoes this fellowship even in the face of crisis. Because as he is, so are we in this world. Our lives are mirrored in him. We are as blameless in this life as Jesus is. This perfect love union is the source of our confidence whenever we face the scrutiny of contradiction. Fear cannot coexist in this love realm. The perfect love union that we are talking about expels fear. Fear holds on to an expectation of crisis and judgment and interprets it as due punishment. It echoes torment and only registers in someone who does not yet realize the completeness of their love union. 1 John 4:18 in the Amplified reads this way. It says, "There is no fear in love. Dread does not exist. But perfect, complete, and full-grown love drives out fear. Because fear involves the expectation of divine punishment. So the one who is afraid of God's judgment is not perfected in love, has not grown into sufficient understanding of God's love." Circling back to verse 10, says, "But when love's perfection arrives, the partial will fade away." Once you know perfect love, there's no room for partial. When love's perfection arrives, God is love. So I can read it as, when God's perfection arrives in your life, anything partial is going to fade away. In previous weeks, I've discussed how I believe wrath, exposure, restriction, waiting are all aspects of the Father's love. It's not about outward appearances. It's about filtering all things through that love lens. God can be nothing other than love. If you are told something comes from God, or you're trying to decipher if the voice you're hearing is you or God, I encourage you to lean it against this lens. Lean it against what we're learning what perfect love looks like. If it's not patient, it's not love. If it's not kind, it's not love. Belittling is not love. Shame and disrespect are not love. Being easily irritated or quick to take offense is not love. Getting upset about someone's honesty is not love. Blaming is not love. If you don't feel safe, it's not love. If it's not the Father's definition of love, it's not genuine love. If you can't find it in Jesus, then it's not God and it's not love. I hope this can help us view things differently and let us be very aware of what we are allowing in our life, what we are allowing to be called in our lives as love and labeled as love when it's not. On the other side of this, in creating this message, I want to examine how I love and how I show love. I'm made in the image and likeness of perfect love. So what would it look like if we understood when we say, "I love you," that we are also saying, "I will be patient with you. I will be kind to you. I will not taunt you with 'I told you so's' or 'I'm better than you.' I will not envy you. I will celebrate you. I'm not going to dishonor you. I won't put my wants above your needs." What would it look like if we not only understood that, but we believed it? God is love and can be nothing other than love. That means we were designed for the same. I bless you to grow in your understanding of how loved you really are. Like 1 John 4 says, perfect means complete and fully grown. If someone is still afraid of judgment, they've not fully grown into sufficient understanding of God's love. It's growing in understanding every day. It's saying yes to Him that's going to remove the partial out of your life. Knowledge and experience are two different things. So tonight we gained some knowledge of what perfect love can look like. Next, I challenge you to allow yourself to experience perfect love. I'll see you next week.